Well, we got the trailer all hooked up. Y'all come with me. We're finna go get the new wagon. Hey, brother. Snuck up on you, did I?
What do you know?
What's happening, old friend?
I got my hand on my wallet. We're good to go. Okay. Good to see you.
Brother. Good to see you.
Oh, yeah. I'm James Doyle. I've got doyleswagons.com. I started Wagons back in 1997. 3,000 wagons later, here we are having fun.
Where'd you find this?
This wagon I got out of Missouri, out of a barn. As you can see, it's got motor oil on it. Yeah. It's got linseed oil on it. You don't even want to look what's in the box after the rats and coons have been in there for 50 years. Good solid wheels. That's what we want to start with, but this has to be transition. This won't work. You can see mold right here on this wagon, being in a wet barn for years, and you'll end up with this type of look right here.
Oh yeah.
In this building. This is a Peter Shuttler. This wagon looked just like that wagon a month ago, and now look at it. I've got an 85-year-old man that sands 8 hours a day on these wagons to take that crud off.
James, how long does it take? Like, we start there and we bring it in here, sandblasting, sanding, cleaning. What's that take to get to this point?
You're talking a week to 10 days. But when it goes out of here, I kind of want to make sure it's roadworthy. We just got to keep every part that you find, seats, the metalwork, ropes.
It ain't like you can go to
Home Depot or Lowe's.
Yeah.
They don't
or
have
AutoZone. They ain't gonna have none of this, are they?
This is all 100, 150-year-old stuff.
Yeah.
And when you need it, it's just priceless. This is our baby right here. Hours and hours and hours of standing with these. We run these 200-gallon tanks all the time.
Yeah.
This is where everything becomes old. You know, spring, sometimes we got to make stuff look a little older. So we've got acid and we've got things to bring out a rust-colored look on the wagons.
We're gonna have to have a wagon, or people want a wagon, but if they all come with a wagon sheet, wagon fly stretches out, you gotta have something to hold it up. And that's what we call the fly poles. And
okay, you know, this is a lot of work. I go to western Nebraska, and we get the tree strips and we cut these cedar poles out, and we come out of the tree strip bloody because you can find the good ones, they're in there deep. Yep. And we'll find a tree strip that's been burned, and we'll go and cut them out, and then the work starts.
You also got a wild assortment of wildlife here.
Oh, I just love all the aluminum statues. These are all cast aluminum. I've been doing this for 18 years, selling these cast. These look good in front of a chuck wagon or a horse on display, a wagon on display with these.
And you don't have to feed them. We go from cedar bark to cedar clean.
Yes, this has all been hand hewn.
And it's like this with a draw knife.
And it's been sanded. It's not done yet. Now this will be sit here for 3 to 6 months. There's 500 pounds of weight there to make sure they stay straight when they dry, and then we'll sand them again, stain them, put pins in the end. I can come in here and I can get a double barrel shotgun, I can get a rifle scabbard, I can get my enamelware, canteens, coffee pots.
You know, James, one of the biggest questions I get is people are always asking, where can I find a coffee pot? I know where you can find one now.
I travel from Indiana to Wyoming and hit every antique store in the world, every flea market, and that's what it takes because Target and Walmart are not selling them.
That's right.
I have about 10 pickers across the United States.
So what about this old canteen?
Well, this piece of paper was in this canteen, and it says here, I was told by J.C. McCoy this came from his grandfather who was released from the POW camp after the Civil War in 1864.
Oh,
he was 81 years at the time. I purchased this in 1992. So this was in that canteen.
That is a treasure, my friend.
Yep. But we covered the canteen, obviously, but that's the kind of stuff that goes on my chuck wagon.
Yeah.
Now, you'd appreciate this girl right here.
Ooh,
look at this bags. Look at this bags. I mean, there is a wagon.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you got this out of a museum. Look at the hubs on that wagon. That's all original. I'm not making a chuck wagon out of this. You don't touch something like this.
No. You know, James, I have a Studebaker, but what do you think are the top wagons that are out there, the wagon makers that are true, authentic? What do you think they were?
Well, today I say buy the wagon that's in the greatest shape. You know, if you could get a Studebaker, obviously that draws attention.
Yep.
Peter Shuttler built a heck of a wagon. Weber's probably my favorite wagon. Newton Wagon Company. I buy that lumber at a sawmill in East Texas. I sand it, I paint it black, I sand it again.
Yeah.
Then I stain and oil it to get that look. And then we do all the blacksmithing and weld all this. But this is neat. I have a lot of fun building something like this.
I'd like to have one of them put my mother-in-law in.
Well, okay,
You know?
yeah, you could.
Now you got a buggy.
Well, this is a John Deere Vila. I'm talking turn of the century, mint condition. I cannot not buy something like this when I see it. Now this one's going to a 65,000 acre ranch next week in Nebraska. Now Kent, what we have here is a covered wagon and we have a jail wagon.
Yeah.
Both of these are going to the Dallas Botanical Gardens in 2 weeks.
I've seen a lot of wagons in 38 years, and I've seen different wheel width.
Okay.
Different country have a different width.
Right.
What are they running over?
I've heard all kinds of stories. Another thing, people go, well, why is that wagon wheel got so much play in it? It goes back and forth. And the grease, this is cone shape.
Yeah.
The grease will be forced back up every time that wheel moves. And also, when that wheel hits a rock, it doesn't knock your front teeth out.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of give there.
Yeah.
I've been told that the wide-wheeled wagons that you'll see mostly back east, will not climb up a rock like a narrow-wheel wagon will climb up a rock. I sent a container and a half of wagons and these aluminum animals to Seoul, South Korea. I've sent 2 containers of wagons to Australia. I have wagons in London. I've had like 4 of them, chuck wagons in Canada. I got 1 chuck wagon in Mexico. So it's a worldwide.
Yeah. You know that old George Jones songs where he said he was putting peanuts in his Coke before it was cool? You know? Well, you've been doing this before it was cool. Have you seen a big resurgence in the last 10 years, 5 years?
Well, I put peanuts in my Coke too. I seriously, I did. Grew up on a ranch in western Nebraska, but in the early 2000s, chuck wagons went crazy. And then about 2012, 13, they died. Now, since we've had the movies come out, Yellowstone and Bass Reeves, there's a resurgence in western stuff everywhere. And I guess, and mostly chuck wagons, because I've had an uptick in chuck wagons.
You see a wagon in a movie, people see one.
Right.
You know, going down the trail had all this stuff on it. I've been on ranches pulling a wagon. You know, we didn't have all of this stuff, but we had some of this stuff. So walk me through what was pretty basic on a wagon you think an old cook had to have right here?
Well, if you're thinking you're going 50 or 100 or 200 miles with cattle, you're going to have some Pioneer tools, okay, to cook with. And I don't think you want to stick them all in the box of the wagon and then try to dig them out with tarps and guns and everything. And so you're going to have a shovel. It's out here on the exterior. Rope, dinner bell, pick. You're going to use a pick and water. A wagon jack to jack up your wagon if you want to throw a wheel in the river or a creek or a lake to soak it up. There it is. It's out of the way. I'm going to have a gun. I don't want to wear my canteen around my neck, so I'll stick the doggone thing on the side of my box or seat. You need a block and tackle, maybe to string up a steer or pull your wagon out of the mud. Up on top here, you can keep your ammunition, flour, or whatever in that metal box out of the rain. There's an axe. And everybody washes clothes, right? So you got the wash rope. You've got the toolbox, jockey box, toolbox to put stuff in because you're going to need stuff. In this one, for example, or fly, your stakes for your fly. They're out of the way. They're not bouncing around the wagon. A double-headed axe is sitting here to chop firewood, or a bow saw over here to saw your firewood, and your coffee grinder. You'll use it probably every day. It's a Parker,
Yep.
1876 cast iron coffee grinder. You're going to be very full inside here with all the stuff
Yep.
you need to feed the crew. The crew with, okay. Metal top to work on. Down here, of course, you're going to carry quite a bit of cast iron. Pull that rod out if you would. Can't. Here in a minute. All right. Just another area to work on, and there's part of your fly stuff right there. And you can put cast iron in there. So all this has got to carry it's a modern day food truck. Is what it is.
Meals on wheels.
Meals on wheels. Yep.
You know, I called you and told you I was needing a second wagon. Well, one we're sort of keeping as a film wagon, my old Studebaker.
Right.
We've got it in a trailer. But I need one to put out there where we're going to be in New Mexico. And that way I wouldn't have to jockey back and forth. And I told you, I said, hey, I see sort of a custom-built wagon. You found me one, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Since you won't pony up for something like this, being just a native Oklahoman, we had to go over here to this wagon here, which it's ready to go if we can get there.
Oh, I like this.
This is a rock solid Newton wagon.
That's a Weber, ain't it?
Oh, Weber, excuse me, Weber. I've got Newtons out here on my mind, but yeah, it's Weber. It's actually kind of unusual having it stamped right here on this piece of metal, Weber. There's a lot you can do to this.
Oh yeah.
You can add a whole lot of stuff to this wagon.
Is a beautiful wagon. Mm-hmm. It is put together well. You've done a great job. I know you go from this to what we just looked at over here. You can do it all. I mean, from the ground up, brother, to here to there. I don't know a better person that I'd get to work on one or have one from.
Well, when you've done 170 of them, you start figuring it out a little bit. Now, I still make mistakes every day because every wagon's different.
Yeah.
But I love to do this. This is my passion. I grew up on a ranch, just what I like.
Yeah. You good people. You'll see that a lot on YouTube videos.
Okay, great. All right.
So it'll be. But thank you again, my friend.
You bet. Thank you. Enjoy it.
Well, we got that new Weber wagon home. We got it here in the garage, and some of you asking yourself, why do we have two wagons? Well, we're pretty excited. We've started this new project where our original wagon, that old Studebaker, is going to be the travel wagon. There will be a lot of more episodes. I can't tell you really what's going on so much yet, but it'll be on a lot of different ranches across the United States, and we're excited for that. So stay tuned. There'll be some updates there. But I needed one that would come out here to New Mexico. Y'all remember our house burnt that we had in New Mexico, but we found another one. So we're going to be doing some filming with this one out here. It'll stay on location here, but it'll be cooler. Maybe I won't be sweating quite so much. But just thank y'all so much for following us down the trail. We appreciate each and every one of you. But it is with honor, pride, and privilege that I tip my hat to all the servicemen and women and all the veterans that'll keep the flag a-flying over this old wagon. God bless you. Give you a big old hug, and I'll see you down the trail.
Yeah, I was trying to pick up on that. I didn't know we were already starting the interview. But
when I rented a wagon mine out one time to a museum, a lady was having, no, it was in a mall. She was doing bridal fashions, and they was going to have all this stuff is Western bridal fashion, you know.
Yeah.
And she said, I just need your wagon for display. And I said, all right. I said, I can bring it up there, ma'am. And I said, you don't need in it, do you? Well, what do you mean? So I folded the choke box lid down, you know, and sitting there. And she said, oh yeah, I like this, I really do. I said, ma'am, drawers is fully stocked, don't mess with them, you know. And she reached up there and pulled one of them smaller drawers out, and as a mouse jumped out and run across there, and she said, I'm paying you $1,000 this weekend for this wagon? I said, yeah, you're getting a mouse for free, ma'am.
Well, you can't get more authentic.
Yeah. All right, go ahead, James.
You got a line.
What?
And where were they built at? Where was headquarters for Weber?
I don't know. It's on the poster in there. I don't get in the weeds.